All right, how are we doing? Are we good? Okay, Lincoln, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. 1, 2, 3.
We just opened it.
Thank you very
Now we
much
can go to
for
school.
coming, and we will do tours, but we just really appreciate you all coming, and we want to show off our amazingly beautiful building. So, thank you. And if you want to go on a tour, just stay right here, and we will get you going.
What you see in a lot of what we tried to do here is make so there's extra learning spaces, like if you got a small group or something, then there's the spaces to do that, because that's really kind of 21st century learning.
Right. Being able to have the flexibility of different spaces so that if somebody needs to go do a little extra learning with a paraprofessional, they have a space to go to so that they have just that flexibility in how they're learning.
Now, and we'll explain the design. Is it okay if I do it right now?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so another thing about 21st century learning is you kind of try to keep the grade levels in their own area. So this is really built, called it a pod system.
Yep, neighborhoods.
Neighborhood system. So there's the 5th grade neighborhood, 3rd grade, 4th grade, and then that would be the resource, which there'd be some special ed classes and such like that. Title will be back there and such. And they went that way, so should we go this way?
We can go this way, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So like Brian said, this is going to be a neighborhood. So all one grade is going to be housed in this area. So when they come into their neighborhood, all of their lockers are found here. So you can drop off all of your coats, boots, bags at your locker commons, and then be able to progress into the classroom neighborhood so that everyone in this grade is all housed in this area.
Yeah, you went the wrong way.
How large are your classes?
We try to keep our class numbers at about.
Well, actually, you could have all 5.
You're gonna see some fluctuation that will above and beyond that.
All of them. And then each space also has an outdoor patio area, so you could take your class
In here,
outdoors
there's
if
going to
you
be
wanted
classrooms that
to.
radiate
Just
around
the lighting.
outside, so every room has exterior windows, natural light. And then as part of this neighborhood, this area is for them to have different breakouts in, to be able to work together, to do maybe even some cross collaboration with different classrooms and teachers. Right off of this area though is where you're gonna stay for everything you need to actually go to while you're in your neighborhood. There's restrooms, your lockers are here. There's breakout spaces to be able to meet individually, and then your classrooms. So there's no more of that thought of sending a student down the hall to go to the bathroom. You have a lot more kind of connection with them in this area.
And we do have there is some area here where we have some of our call it support staff that we actually were able to house them in the areas here. And that way they're not having to go as far to get to them. One of the things I point out, another thing that we saw when we toured schools was the ability to have some outside learning space. So on all of the
Neighborhoods.
we call them neighborhoods, I'll call them pods, neighborhoods. On all the neighborhoods, there is some area that is an outside space where if they're talking about nature, they can go out and there.
Yep, exactly.
And if you want to just walk around a little bit and you can see what the classrooms look in this area.
I know.
Good. Did you want to do this too? Talking to Jenny.
Courtney, Yeah, can you explain the color scheme, because that's
Sure.
way past me.
Absolutely. So every single one of the neighborhoods is going to be in a different color scheme to help with that wayfinding. Because when we come into the building and somebody says, go to the 4th grade, instead of doing that and having to like read and navigate where you're going, you can say, go to the purple neighborhood. And so going to that one and being able to see that color. So this is blue, yellow, purple, like a teal green color.
Is it really called yellow?
They all have fun names. It's like
Yeah.
pool.
Yeah, see,
And like goldenrod.
I'm the 8 colors type guy. That, you know, fuchsia is just a fake yellow.
Right, yeah, no.
In my
Or pink.
opinion.
Or
They have,
pink,
they have
or
fun,
red.
they have fun names, but now you'll know if you have to go to the blue or one of the neighborhoods, instead of trying to read some of the signage, you can just go by color and find where you're at.
Okay.
Yeah,
Should we do the special ed?
yeah, let's go
Or
through that area.
resource, I should
Resource
say.
area?
Actually, it's a resource. We're gonna go across into the 3rd grade, that way we're not running over those guys.
Now you can go in the teal.
Back in time here.
The locker tops are still needing to be installed. So there's a solid surface that goes on all the tops so that they stay smooth and clean. And you'll see that consistency of all the neighborhoods. They're set up similarly, so as you advance through the school, you're gonna know kind of where you're going and what the expectations are as you move up in grades.
And the other thing is we actually allowed the staff, the teaching staff, to kind of have their autonomy, how they wanted to set stuff up out here. That way, because they meet as a team and they at times teach as a team, so we wanted them to have that autonomy to be able to say, hey, we want this set up this way. Really, to be honest with you, there could come a time where Mrs. Claver and Mrs. Jacobson decide that they want to teach a certain thing together. This will give them the opportunity that they can come out here and actually do that. That again is another thing we really saw when we did our tours. I don't remember this school, Harlan, Melvin, Sanborn.
Yep, we did that one.
Hartley, Melvin, Sanborn, actually when they built theirs, it's not as many classrooms, but when they built like those 2 classrooms together, they literally have a garage door that goes up.
That opens them.
Now, it is soundproof, just so you know, but it's soundproof, but they literally have a garage door that goes up so they can, like, they might co-teach math.
Yep, but when we toured, some of the teachers had some reservations, so we decided here, we were gonna do the doors.
Yeah.
They felt like they would not use them enough to justify putting them in,
But
so.
with having the neighborhood, and our neighborhood is probably slightly larger than the ones we actually toured.
Yeah, probably about 3 times
So
bigger
that
than.
kind
what
of, that was kind of the trade-off. Okay, if you don't want to have the where you can go 2 classes together, let's have a little bit bigger neighborhood.
Exactly, so if like all the 3rd grade needed to get together and have a small 3rd grade assembly, they could come out in this area and have presentation if they didn't go out into the commons.
Just for like the ESL classes will be then, the ESL, English Second Language classes, or?
Anna will be, is she in the resource area?
She is,
Okay.
yep.
Anna, which is our ESL teacher, she will be in the resource area. We try to, I call it, you call it what you want, I call it kind of the special, the resource type things in the non-core classrooms. It's all basically put into one area. So we're really, you are going to have some small group. I think there's maybe some guidance offices and stuff that are in the north wing. So we tried to do some of that, but for the most part, like anything like where Anna's got to have some, we call it pullouts, she's in her own area over there.
Yep, so all that student services is kind of what we call it. ESL, resource, special ed.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of who else was all housed over there, but they have classrooms there that we'll see, and then they have additional rooms as breakout too.
And we also, I know we're not doing the high school tour, but one of the things, you know, if you want to think strategically, one of the things we really attempted to do over there in the renovation is make things more common sense. Honestly, math and science are somewhat interrelated, as well as STEM. Well, they used to be upstairs, downstairs. Now we have them all upstairs. We used to have the guidance office one place, the resource officer another place, the I'm trying to think, the special offices. We actually have a wing where they all work out of, so they can be more collaborative too. We'll go over to the 4th grade. Neighborhood. It's a neighborhood. Let's go to the resource. There's somebody in here.
Okay.
I'm not a very good tutor.
We're aware.
Now this is mustard, right?
The yellow
Yeah, we'll call it
mustard.
It's yellow, but it's mustard.
It should be sunflower.
sunflower.
Yes, sunflower.
Can you help a little bit? So
Yeah, so the intent back here is that there's smaller classrooms that they can break out into for resource rather than it being one larger area, because typically the resource teachers have smaller groups that they're working with. But also, kind of back to the same theme of the resource teachers can also go to the neighborhoods and work with the kids out there. So really having that flexibility of what's needed, do they need quiet space? Do they need to just catch up on a test quick? They can really pick what space in the building is best for what tasks are needed. So giving them a smaller footprint here allowed for us to have those bigger collaboration spaces throughout the building.
one of the other things that we do as a district, we do host an alternative program through the Green Hills AEA, and that's actually housed in this area too.
Is that what that Rising Hope is?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's Rising Hope, and that's it's a program through the Green Hills AEA, but what we do is we house it and we have a partnership with them.
Okay.
Yep, which has been a very positive thing.
So yeah, you'll notice they aren't full-size classrooms, but that's just the intent with use the building, not your space.
And this will have a dead end that we have to walk back out.
Yes. So there is a couple of individual decompression rooms, as we call them. So students do need to get away for a minute and have some quiet space. There's a couple smaller rooms back here for that. And then at the very back is another larger classroom that's a little bit larger than these, but more of that interactive space for those kiddos who may be wheelchair bound or have special needs. The equipment is all set up back in there for those students.
Yeah, I think they call it the therapeutic.
Yeah.
Therapeutic room.
Yeah, the name's changed. Yeah. So yeah,
So this is kind of a dead end.
it is, yes. But still on theme with the rest of the pods and neighborhoods to make sure that they all correspond together.
And I think we'll just go, you guys can go a quick look at the 4th grade pods, and then we'll show you the offices.
Yes. Fourth grade is very similar.
And the timeout.
All of the 5th grades are going to be together. They also have a learning space or a neighborhood outside of that. And then they have their own restrooms. The teachers have their own workspace. So it's almost like a school within a school, and we're very excited about that. You're going to miss it.
People, I must be
I think people are just starting to meander. Okay.
So this is pretty much, this is a 4th grade pod. Again, we have a couple of, we have guidance back here, and then there's an extra room. One of the things for you that are familiar with what used to be here, this used to be a playground. Well, when we did the groundwork, we realized, there's quite a bit of difference between the parking lot and down here. So what we ended up doing there is we said, okay, we could have made it a slope, but just for water purposes and everything, what we did is we did put a retaining wall with a fence on top of it. It just made it much more aesthetic.
And you'll probably notice now that you've seen all 3 grade levels is that we kept them all the same. So as the students move up through the grades, they have that consistency, but that change in color to give them a little bit of variety. But then also for flexibility over the years if grades need to shift or, you know, something comes up, it's all flexible for the future because it's all set up the same. So.
Yeah, we also, I think when we did it, when we got the furniture, we tried to be proactive.
Yes.
Like, let's say you have a class that goes through that's only got 90 people in. Well, furniture can actually go from one pod to another.
Yep.
Kind of enables that part of the flexibility. If you have a big class or a small class go through, you can just move the furniture around.
For sure.
And that happens.
Yes, it does. And so just to keep things as flexible as possible was really at the forefront. And you can even see through the lounge seating that the dominant color ends up being the color of the neighborhood. But again, if say one grade decides they're using the lounge more than others, they can swap it very easily. It all corresponds together, and nobody's going to notice. So, yeah.
We have the 2 offices left. And
Oh
the
yes,
board, and the board.
Yes, Brian is really excited to show you his office.
The teacher's lounge.
Teacher's lounge.
Teacher's lounge or whatever. We're going in the back door and we'll just come out the front.
I know. It's a little fancy. Teacher's lounge.
I'll hold the door. Okay, thanks.
We'll put in the paper that you held the door.
Oh, good. You put that in the
Okay,
paper.
we'll put it in the paper. Oh, they have the back. They have like a refrigerator.
And the only thing I ask is when they say don't touch that, please don't, because it actually, they just set these today and they got a cure. So that's, just don't want anybody to make sure we touch those. This is the teacher's lounge area for the intermediate. Obviously there's enough space, like if it's almost a whole group can be in here and they don't all go at the same time. So it's similar to what they had. So. And then we'll just go through, and this will lead you through the offices. Yeah, I don't know if you go first. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, how are you? Good. Good to see you. You got to move.
Finally, I got it. Well, they kind of tore yours up, so.
So in this area, this is the intermediate office.
This is a very cool building.
This room here is the conference area.
I love the big park and stuff.
You can have teachers to come in here and use it, and some of the administration will use it. That is the one thing that we really lacked prior to the renovations was meeting areas. We had, let's see, the boardroom and the boardroom, and we actually did have an area that we kind of made into a meeting area in the old intermediate. So that's one thing in all the buildings now, we actually have a collaboration area. And that was actually another thing we saw when we did the tours.
Yep.
Yep.
Learn from the things you wanted and the things you didn't want.
We did not use everything we saw.
Right.
We kind of took what we saw and tailored it to what we needed, probably more than anything. Not what we wanted, what we needed. So,
What met your needs here in Harlan.
yeah. All right. That's where we store supplies. This is the nurses area, right here.
Is this your daughter also? What? Is this your daughter also? Yeah. No, it's
This is our elementary assistant principal. This is her office. And then we'll get up, when we go out here, we'll get to meet the infamous Susie. Everybody's got to say hi to Susie.
I did not put that all together though. Got you. Okay.
This is Susie and Jen. That's our rock stars at the intermediate. Right?
We try.
So this is the central office. Now, for you that are from around here, the central office used to be in the high school. We needed more locker rooms / team rooms, so we kind of hatched the plan, I guess. If we had room over here, within our square footage needs, that we were going to try to move this over here. And it just happened to work out that way, that we had the space that we could give up over there, and we still had enough room over here. So this now is going to be the central office. We house Bailey Portwood, who is our administrative assistant, Catherine Hubbard, who is our HR / food service / she does everything. And then Kylie Cum, who does like our grant writing, she coordinates the STEM and stuff. She's in there. Mike Dare, some of us graduated from Harlan High. The director of operations used to be in the boiler room, right off of the boiler room. And really no privacy or anything. So he now has an office. Our superintendent, Jeannie Barnett, is back in that office, and then that office is mine. And it's kind of, we do have an area up here. It's a small conference room that we actually utilize probably more than we ever thought we would. So that's really been helpful. So, Courtney, anything to add about it? I kind of went the reasoning why we moved over here.
I think that's great.
Catherine and I, we were in the old intermediate library / computer lab. Richard, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it was
fancy.
It was really cool for 2 years. Like if we didn't need an intercom, I said, "Hey, Catherine!" Literally, we were in cubicles. Yeah.
If you can call
So
them.
this is kind of nice. There's a little bit of shock because we couldn't just yell at each other anymore. So, but feel free to walk around, and then we'll show you the boardroom to finish up.
No, that's what they were, yeah. She
Come on in.
Yeah.
That mural is cool.
We actually intentionally designed this way so it could actually be used not only as a boardroom, but as a flexible learning space. Remember I said earlier, flexibility. That was by intent that we made this. As you can see, this is what connects to the primary building.
This hallway out here.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we really intentionally this was a space where we wanted to have as large an area for the boardroom as we could. Richard could speak to this. The boardroom in the old high school, small.
About a third of
I've been
this.
in several boardrooms in several schools. I've never been in a boardroom that small. Big closet, Actually, if you look in here, I think the closet's about the size of what the boardroom was. But we designed it so it could be used in flexible learning space. We're still tinkering how we're going to arrange things. It's I said set it up like this today, and then we'll kind of figure out what we want. But it actually allows for quite a few seats if we have to. And again, we can add. This has got used numerous times already for professional development, where we've had smaller groups. It gets used all the time. So, and we've been fortunate that we were actually able to occupy this in central office in April, so we've at least got to use some of the stuff already.
I was thinking about something. Are the doors made so that if you'd have somebody come in that you're afraid of, are they made so they can be locked?
You're talking to the other building?
Oh, in the other building, not
Okay.
here?
Well, to be honest with you, if they're doing things like they're supposed to be, when your class starts, your door is supposed to be locked.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, notice I use the caveat, if you're doing it like you're supposed to,
Yeah.
they actually
Yeah.
should be locked.
Because I know that. I've
We are
seen
still
it.
missing a few
Yeah,
of the
that I
things,
was,
yeah.
but so when the teachers go in that door, then it will be locked?
Yeah, they're supposed to be.
Okay,
Yep.
that's good.
And that concludes tour, folks.
Thank you very much.
The ceilings were like that. The ceilings were like that.
Were they
Yes.
red? Too, like that?
Yeah.
They were.
They
she was in that hallway. This used to be, this is the old library here, okay? So as you're walking in, there was a wall here, and now we have it all open. And so this space, we named it the hub. And this is an open work area here. They can study. And then make our way out here. And this is study. So that's more of a quiet study hall, workspace with our library books and all of that too. So if you want to peek in the auditorium, that was our first project. So the auditorium was more of a facelift, but it ended up new ceiling, new seats, paint, carpet, sound, light, curtains. So just a really, really nice facelift. We didn't have to make any structural changes. I know, yeah, we remember that before it was all of like the orange and green and yellows. Yep, yeah, yeah. So
1970s, my grandma's basement.
So this is just more, you'll see a lot of school colors, the grays, reds, light grays around. So that was part of the design. We'll head this way. We'll have to kind of go in a couple loops. We'll go towards the cycle board. So we should have this done by, I think, the end of next week, but this is our cyclone corner. Our business classrooms are off of this main space, as they are just part of the central hub of the school. So this is a business classroom, and it feeds right into Cyclone Corner, which is our student business that's run by our business department. So they've received a lot of grant money, and we'll be starting up a coffee shop and ice cream shop this year. So we have a lot of plumbing and I think an espresso machine, ice cream machine. They'll be selling ice cream and whatnot. All of those proceeds go to funding BPA for students who are in Business Partners of America. So this is just, the business teachers are excited. They say kids learn the most when it's all startup. It's always that first startup is when kids learn the most. So, okay, let's keep going. But this will be used for athletic meetings, any just larger group meetings. You can fit 10 to 16 people, I think, inside that room there. So, just for a larger meeting. Yeah. Yep. So you'll see, this is a secondary hallway. We still are unpacking our library, so you see library books here in the hall. But it's secondary. There's a couple special education classrooms off of this hall, so it's a nice quiet space. It's not in the middle of the hub, major hubbub of the school. Restrooms are down here, and then just access to the back end of our library there. So we'll keep going this way. These are our ag and industrial tech classrooms. And then the shop, the ag shop and the wood shop are just on the other side. Yeah, this is a major hallway through the school, so you can see it feeds itself all the way down to the other end. In the old design, the hallways ran north and south, and now we have a couple hallways that cut across. And these are collaboration areas, so it's designed for teachers who are working with kids. If they have a couple kids who need to work independently, or they want to send kids to work in groups, they can come out here and spread out. They can connect to a TV. They can go into one of these smaller study areas and work with a partner or on their own. It just invites a lot more collaboration, and it gives students a little bit more responsibility on taking care of themselves. As they get older, we want to release that responsibility to them. So it's been fun to see. The second semester last year, we were able to have half of the hallway done, and it was just fun to see kids kind of sitting and using the space.
You can look, Mr. Cron's in here, he's got his boys in here. This is all social studies classes in this section. And then we have Anna Gill here with our ELL students, English language learners. If you guys have any questions as we're going through, feel free to ask.
I like the selling ones.
Yeah. But we had that before with her. Yep. And we use it all the time for, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Look, this is Savannah McConnell. She teaches some history and then is also teaching English. Yeah, she's got a lot of very clever stuff.
Oh, excellent.
So we still connect to the middle school. That design or those doors stay the same. So those 3 hallways still cut. And then the middle school, you'll see, we're trying to show kids the gray is the hallway, and then the red up above, that's where the seat is. So these are all English teachers. You remember being a kid, we sit at a desk all day long, you get tired of that. So now you can have a variety of levels you're standing at, sitting at. Everything, all of the furniture either glides or is on wheels, so a teacher can say, okay, move your desks this way, and it can happen really fast. You know, we can move things around really easily for whatever they want to do. Here, we'll go in here and we'll cut through, and I'll show you. We're coming in. Good. So Miss Buman is a special education teacher. So this is kind of what our standard special education class looks like. There's a table back here. And then I just wanted to come in here so we can cut through here. And this is our life skills room for special education students.
Hello. Hi.
So in Miss Shetler's room, she does a lot more life skills work with students who have that need. So we have a washer dryer. There's a handicap accessible bathroom right there. There's dishwasher, microwave, stove, refrigerator, a kitchenette. They do a lot of cooking. Everything is handicap accessible. So we can really work with kids and show those really needed life skills. So when they leave high school, they're ready to go. Would you add anything else, or do you think
No, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
We like the new kitchenette. It's very nice. It's very accessible. It's a good upgrade.
We had it, but it wasn't handicap accessible as much as it is now. You know, so we're meeting all of the necessary codes and just it's just good for kids. They make a lot of things, do a lot of crafts.
We have our little bistro table that we can eat after we make our food.
Make a snack and yeah.
Office.
This is the teacher's workroom. The teacher's workroom and the high school office. So my office is here. You guys can go and check it out. And then Anthony, our assistant principal and AD, is right here. So we're housed in the high school administrative office. Teacher workroom. It's nice. This big island is really nice. It's usually covered in lots of paper and boxes and people doing stuff, mailboxes, things like that. And then you head this way. There's a conference room here. Has a lot of stuff for supper. They're storing in here. So, but just a lot of meeting space. Able to meet with families. These are grow towers, and so they are managed by students. And the master gardener is Mary Buchanan. works with them. So this is all lettuce and spinach that needs to be harvested. And we take it home, kids take it home, it'll make its way to the kitchen. And then there's some flowers, I think there's some tomatoes somewhere around the school. Last year we used the grow towers, grew flowers for all the teachers, and then our STEM students made 3D printed pots that were like specially made for each teacher. So that was a nice teacher appreciation gift. And then our entrance here, so if you come in to visit, you'll come in by Penny here through this door, and it's a secure entrance into the building. So all visitors enter through our new front doors, and they have to enter through the high school office. They can't get access to the rest of the building until we know what they're doing here and why, and then we escort them to where they need to go. So it's a secure entrance, and we will end up, by the end of all of this construction, all entrances across the district will be a secure entrance. So you'll walk right into the office, you won't walk into the main part of the school. Okay, so on this side of the upstairs you'll have a science room. This is where the science room used to be too. The door's a little different, but then if you come down here, you can remember the old school, the old second floor, you'll see a big difference.
You think?
Upstairs was a maze.
Was it bad?
Oh, it was bad. Didn't make any sense to me.
Right.
Yeah, we'll
Agreed.
just head down and we'll go down the other stairs on the other side. So we'll just walk through. This side is science, and then we have math on the other side of the second floor. So primarily science and math. We have a new lab. The lab, we have one lab for 4 science teachers, so they all share the lab with their own classroom. And each science classroom has lots of storage.
Okay, I'll be down there.
We're working on signs. So all of the signs you'll see, these were all a student project. So we had some students who designed the signs, worked with our architect and construction firm. We 3D printed each sign, designed the stickers, made them, painted them, and hung them. So it just takes about twice or 3 times as long when a kid does it. So we're still working on getting the signs done. So we are working on, we have a paper sign, I just need to print another copy, it looks like, that we keep up until we can get the real signs up. So this is a hallway that takes us to the elevator stage, and then we have a STEM classroom down here if anyone would like to see that. It's full of lots of cool stuff.
I want to see the STEM.
STEM is science, technology, engineering, math.
STEAM. I'm sure how do I turn the light on, man? If I push something, I could be in big trouble. Should I push something?
Sure.
It's his off.
I just pushed back. That's why I was a student. Electronics or wiring, building, 3D stuff, computers, whatever. Kids can do some.
Stands for Iowa's Jobs for America's Graduates. And so Erin and Lori work together with students in helping with find a career path that they're interested in. Students who might be at risk or haven't really had other structure maybe at home where they're looking, parents who have modeled just how to go to college and how to fill out forms and how to find a job that you're interested in and all that stuff. So we also run our work-based learning program out of there. Was MOC, now work-based learning. So kids can get a job, get some high school credit, and then be able to leave school for part of the day, go work, get credit, get paid, and learn about the importance of all those employability skills that go along with it. So So you'll see like for the seating up here, not as much soft seating, more tables and chairs, hard seating, so when kids, I mean, you imagine in English, you're gonna go out and wanna sit somewhere comfy to read a book. Math and science, you wanna come out and have a place to sit down and be able to work, so.
They're taking backpacks everywhere.
Yep, we don't have lockers. You notice that?
What about coats?
They don't wear coats.
Well, there you go. Yes, and they don't wear jeans, and they don't wear, yeah.
They figured out, a lot of the kids use PE lockers to store some of their things. Music kids go to music. Otherwise, they just kind of carry it around a lot like we did in college. And the backpacks aren't as full as they used to be. You don't need a locker because a lot of it's just in a computer. So, it's an update, but the ceiling and lights are the biggest change here, and then everything else is a lot of cosmetic. Painting trophy cases, new lighting and trophy cases.
What's the old cycling corner gonna be now?
It's going to be storage for, you're going to put in, so if you remember it had like a glass case, we put in a wider door. It'll store a lot of our music shelves. Otherwise they just sit on the stage and we just move them around all the time. So now we have a spot we can put.
And you have an empty room.
Yeah, put that. We had an empty room for a while.
Yeah.
But I'll find something else.
And this is no longer an office.
So then this was the district office.
And your office for a while.
And now this is, we're calling them team rooms. We don't have enough visitor locker rooms. And so it's a flexible space. We can use it as a classroom during the day, and then we'll use it as visitor locker rooms at night. So you can go in and see here. It's an open room, and we'll have visiting teams come in here as a locker room. There's a restroom over here they can use with a shower. So this was the superintendent's office right here. There's a door here, and then this right here was the.
My office is about 3 halls.
There you go. Yep. So right here was the superintendent. So this is all the district office. So now we'll have a couple classes a day in here. We'll have health, sports officiating, where kids can get their umpire. I think it's a lot of baseball and wrestling, and then we have them ref and ump games for us. And then I think football is going to use it for game film. It's just a really flexible space for athletics. Smells like a boys' locker room. So the main work in here was done on this end with the restrooms and showers. So new restrooms here, stalls, toilets that was needed, and then the showers. It was, there's a lot of plumbing issues, and then they were just one shower on a pole with all the nozzles out. And now we have single stall showers that will be used hopefully quite a bit more. Those boys need a shower. So, and it just goes through, each locker room has a similar update. They're still working on them. So this is the library. This is study space, quieter space, and we're calling it the study. Well, and they can also, so this is kind of considered one larger space. So students who are working in here will be looking for, I really want a quiet space I can focus and study if they're out here. Like I'm okay with a little bit of noise and that kind Yeah, so that's why you want to go to the library. I got you. Yeah.
All right, if anyone from the class of 2028 is here and wants to join by one of the boards, that would be awesome. Okay. All right, well, I just want to start by saying thank you all for coming to see these boards go live for the first time in public. It's been a fun night anyway, with the school being open. It's a fresh look, it kind of feels like a fresh year, and we're just excited to get this kicked off. So we're here tonight to officially light these up and bring them to life for the public to view, and I'm just really glad that you've all chosen to be here to be part of this moment. I think as you walked in the gym, you could just tell how exciting it is, the size of these boards, and what a testament to what we're here tonight to represent. This will be such a lasting symbol of the community's commitment and their loving support as we had the class of 2028 honoring the life and legacy of their classmate Mia Schwiesel. So I did just want to take a moment to just go down memory lane a little bit and think of how did we even get here? There was a strong desire by the class of 2028 to bring Mia's memory forward, and especially as they got into the high school years. And with that, they wanted something meaningful. Go ahead and come in. Y'all can come in. Come in. It's really not that big a deal. It's pretty laid back. All right. They wanted something meaningful, something lasting, and big enough to reflect Mia's bold and competitive spirit. And that's when the idea of a new scoreboard to go in a high school gymnasium came into play. But really, this full video board was where it came to life. And the gymnasium, we felt, was like the right place, because this is where we gather, whether it be for sports, whether it be for assemblies, whether it be for graduation. And just to get the community spirit, this is where we gather. So it all felt right. And that was when it was decided to center the fundraising efforts around the Mia Blue Out game, which was on February 7th. Through a lot of conversations, and if we're going to do this, what does it take? We aligned on what we would be going for, what the cost would be, and we made a goal to raise $80,000. We thought, we can do it, we can go big, we know this community will support us. So then we launched everything, put it into action. You guys remember the January 31st and the February 3rd game. We brought the fun with the Chuck-a-Duck. We were selling bracelets and stickers. Just had a lot of school spirit going on. We raffled off a grill and a hog, both of which were donated to the cause. The students went out and went door to door just to raise awareness as well as fundraise by talking to the people in the community. The classes did a coin challenge. They tried to see who could win in that. We were doing new shirt designs. And then others in the community stepped up in unique ways. We had the Booster Club agree to anyone that bought a lifetime membership, that money was going to be donated to this effort. Many classes joined together, such as the class of 2032, where they were selling things and raising money on their own, and ended up being one of our large donors. But even former classes are known as donating a lot of money and bringing a lot to this effort. Then we had the February 7th Blue Out game, where we had pizza and candy and sold all sorts of things. And it was at that time that we were able to speak to the crowd and say, we stand here tonight and tell you we both met and exceeded the $80,000 goal. And by the end of the night, we were so excited to say that, but it didn't stop there. The donations kept on coming in, and as we tallied it all up, it became very clear that we didn't just meet, but we far exceeded that goal. So tonight, I would like to share with everyone that as far as exceeding that goal, we have raised nearly $156,000 towards this effort. It was so exciting, and as we looked at that, because of your generous support and everyone's efforts, far exceeded our wildest dreams. So then we said, well, what do we do? And that's when we were able to come together with the school and say, we are able to donate 2 large, very large video boards donated by the class of 2028. And we are still able to give nearly $5,000 to the Mia Schweitzer Memorial Fund Scholarship. So exciting. So this is your impact as well. It's Mia's legacy in action. Really? All right, stand up. Now's the time, guys. Ladies? Okay, now we want to see it in full display by showing the effort. So let's kick off that video and see it in full action. Class of 2028, join me up here if you will. So tonight wasn't just about the unveiling of these boards. It's really about the gratitude that we want to share with everyone here. We have so many people to thank for making this possible. First and foremost, everyone sitting in this room and the entire community. When the town shows up for all things both joyful and sometimes the difficult situations, it's really nothing short of just remarkable. So thank you all for being here and supporting along the way. Some of the key partners we want to thank, I want to thank Jade Osborne with Courtside Marketing. She helped me tremendously in getting the design of the boards and getting that all filled up, especially the signage that we have up there today. Thank you. To the entire school, in so many ways, I worked countlessly with Anthony to make sure we got the right pricing, make sure we had all the details figured out, make sure we could do it, the delivery, and the school has been very supportive of the class making this ginormous donation of these assets to the school. Dr. Barnett, for your continued support along the way, the school board for supporting it along the way. I want to thank Ms. Kylie Cum for the videos that she did tonight. That was all volunteered and what she put together. You'll see the next one. I also want to thank the Athletic Booster Club. I mentioned the lifetime membership that they did, but also their willingness to support as we were making decisions as the donations were coming in. We knew that they would have our back if there was any shortage of funds to make this come to life. And of course, the parents and families, particularly of the class of 2028, there was a lot of us that came together to make sure that this class could pull this off. So for everyone that supported and for the efforts, the volunteering, the thought process, I want to thank everyone, especially there's a core group that really focused on the effort throughout the year. And just thank everyone for bringing your hearts to it all and making sure that we could bring this vision to life. There is a sign over on the wall over there, one of them was revealed, that recognizes our donors of $500 or more. And having that signage here allows, as these boards live on, to tell the story of what it was that the class of 2028 did to remember Mia in a very thoughtful and meaningful way. With lots of thank yous, let's go ahead and play that next video.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you for your generosity.
The world needs kindness. The world needs hope. You can be the source of that. A kind word, a compliment, a helping hand. the last time I have to do this, or I get to do this, I should say. Mia definitely got her shyness in, as far as speaking in front of crowds from her dad. So, class of 2028. Absolutely amazing. This was quite the task, and you guys absolutely nailed it. Well, we won't get to look up at these to see how many fouls Mia has at halftime. Man, they sure are beautiful. January 31st, 2023 was the day Mia's life on earth ended, and a new life for us without her began. The pain is no less sharp today than it was then, but we are so extremely grateful for the outpouring of love and support that continues to be shown to our family. We know there are so many other families hurting. Please don't be afraid to reach out to those people. Trust me, it'll mean more than you know that someone reached out to check on them. Thank you so much to me as classmates of 2028, their parents, school staff, friends, family, donors, and also the Booster Club. We continue to be so humbled and amazed by the incredible love and support shown to our family since Mia's passing. Because of the generosity and big hearts of others, tonight is yet another testimony to the person Mia not only wanted to become someday, but to the young girl she already was. It was God's intention to gift Mia with a big heart, kindness, and generosity. As she looks down upon us all here tonight, please remember her sweet smile with that little bit of a dimple. Our hope is you all feel a sense of comfort and pride for not only what you've done to make this happen, but for all the other kindness and compassion shown to our family. Mia wrote back in 6th grade that she wanted to become a person with a big heart, one that is kind, and one that gives back to her community. At the end of the day, I feel life is about two things: the person we become and what we give. Because of all the generosity, part of who Mia wanted to become has come true in so many ways. We all have something to give, and it doesn't have to be monetary. A simple thing like giving someone a smile can really change someone's day. We will forever be indebted to this community and are so grateful for all the acts of kindness that have been shown to our family and the memorials for our Mia. I'll leave you with this, and please hear me when I say, don't ever miss out on an opportunity to tell your loved ones that you love them. May God continue to bless you all with much love. Thank you.
Nobody ever says it better than Chris, so thank you so much for sharing that. All the love that you gave your daughter, she shared with us. So I think I just wanted to close tonight, just as we head into a new school year, it's a perfect time to pause and remember what matters most. It doesn't cost anything to include others, it doesn't hurt to choose kindness, and Mia showed us that in her short time on earth. So let's carry that forward together, support another, let's all be kind, and as Mia would have lived it in a world where you can be anything, be kind. Thank you all very much for coming tonight. We appreciate your support.